Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Taking a quick look here again at ICP, seeing what's going on. Rolling around 1250 right now. We're going to see if this is worth taking a long or a short. Bird's eye view, first person, just big perspective, big picture rather. We can see $13, that strong resistance area of volume. So again, when it's supposed to have worked as a support level, it turned into a resistance now. So we got to recognize that that could very well be holding the price action in place for the moment. And we'll double check a couple of other things, see if that's even a thing, right? Because again, volume profiles aren't always 100%. It just kind of lets us know generally that that's the most interested area that people like to, that have accumulated, right? And if the price action stays below that level for too long, it can be problematic. Okay, so let's quickly note these last 7 days of liquidation. And before we get started, please like, comment below. Deeply appreciate you helping grow the channel here. Get these videos out there for people that need to learn how to be a little bit more responsible with trading is probably a better way to describe it. I like to teach people how to become better traders instead of teaching how to get destroyed. So again, we took one stop loss on AVAX. No, we closed that one early. We took a stop loss on Solana here when the price action pulled back just before it did. And I'm glad we got stopped out because it would have been a disaster if we didn't have a stop loss, right? Make sure you use those stop losses as your friend. Keep in mind we took tons of profit on the way down with our shorts here. XRP, that's the same trade twice there. ICP, Filecoin, we took 72% from ICP from 11 days ago. Keep in mind, these are small position sizes because we took a lot of our profit already, but it's important to leave a little bit of skin in the game for these things that happen that completely offset our long positions that went south on us. So again, I feel perfectly fine being happy with a couple of stops and recognize that on the back end we were able to kind of offset that completely. Okay, so having said that, liquidation last 7 days. $10 heavy concentration liquidation, at least moderately heavy in the last 24 hours. So again, people were long around $10. That's actually a pretty safe number because again, I'll show you on the charts here, but that $10 to $11 range is somewhat of a support level too. Same thing here as well with 14. That's that resistance that we discussed yesterday, and that's an area of heavier concentration. And of course, we can see 16 upwards of $18 as other areas of liquidation there. So again, there's tons of liquidation above the price and a little bit below. Does that incentivize the price to go up from here? Yes, but only if conditions are present, appropriate conditions. And I don't think war efforts and all this random stuff here happening over the weekend, Bitcoin going south, kind of holding its level at 65K, is really a good ideal situation because Bitcoin does drop its bottom. We'll see more drop from ICP. You just got to be ready for that. So I would recommend setting more limit orders on the way down. For spot bags, do not use high leverage or position sizing right now. It's just not ideal. So take a look here at the moving averages. Let's double check here. We lost all three, the important ones. I mean, I would say the 200 is equally as important, don't get me wrong. It's actually the most important to let us know the overall trend is still in good shape. So we're above that. Keep in mind 9.7, that'll be averaging itself out at $10 here soon. So again, $10 is that resistance, or sorry, support level. Until we get below it, we got to presume it's going to work as a support, okay? Now again, 200 SMA notoriously is a pretty strong support range. So please note that the other three here were just kind of, these are quicker moving averages. They're different stories altogether. The 20-day SMA, you can kind of see that guy. Here, we'll just kind of pull it on over here. This is not an exact science here, but you can see the 20-day SMA typically runs concurrent with descending trends or ascending trends in the other direction. So it's important to recognize that being above that trend line is going to be the first thing we're going to be looking for in order to establish a long position comfortably, okay? And I'm referring more so to swing trading. If you're like in and out of the market all day, every day, this doesn't make as much sense as it would if you're going to be holding for longer periods. But it's still relevant because you need to understand the big picture, because if you don't know what the overall trend is, then you're going to be in a bad position, okay? So again, please recognize that. I'm also leaving the current fib levels intact for the moment, just because this 0.786 level could be a resistance for us here. It was supposed to have worked as a support and didn't, so we might prone to presume that's a new resistance there at about 1280, okay? Let's quickly note the moving averages, the stochastic RSI, money flow index being very low. This is a common area for the price action when it's there to recover and bounce. Now, I'm not expecting the prices to shoot up tomorrow, but if it does, it would make sense considering we are overextended to the downside, okay? If we take a look at TD sequential 2, we can kind of see here, we hit an overextended state at a 9, and we're 3 days in. So we've been moving down on ICP for 13 days straight. That's quite a lot of downtrend. All right, folks, so not ideal, not optimal. Sorry, that's more so 12 days, but you get the gist here. It's absolutely abysmal in the overall sense, okay? So nothing here is looking bullish at all, okay? Do you take a long positions into something like that because one indication bounces off of 30 on the RSI? No, definitely not. In fact, if you take a look at hindsight, the last time we were at 30 on the RSI, or below it rather, was right here, September 14th, and the price action was somewhere in the $3 range. Okay, so again, that just gives you perspective that dips can happen, and this is absolutely probably not the bottom. Okay, so I don't feel very comfortable taking a position right now, just based on the overall sense of the bottom possibly dropping out. Okay, so we reaffirm the fact that we've got a lot of resistance above us. How are we looking for support? Well, if we zoom in, we look at this here. This is an ugly mess. RSI money flow index pretty low. Stochastic swinging up. Possibly going to see further downside here because of that. We can see also that convergence here is occurring, but hasn't fully converged yet. So the 4-hour time frame is a whole lot of nothing, honestly. Mostly bearish divergences were underneath all SMAs, and it's not an ideal situation to trade, period. No other way around it, okay? I'm trying to reaffirm this and reiterate this to my community because some people get really impatient with the fact that, oh, you haven't sent a signal in a couple of days. You're not a good trader. No, in fact, it's the opposite. Good traders are those who actually wait and are patient to find the right opportunities. So again, me personally, I like to kind of be patient and wait. I mean, albeit the fact that I have hundreds of traders underneath me might be one thing, but more important, I've just always been this way personally. I've been trading for over 20 years, and I can tell you in that time, hastily jumping into a trade, it will oftentimes result in disaster. So pump the brakes, folks. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to establish range-bound activity before we can do anything of that sort. Okay? So again, to be able to establish or to change the direction of a downtrend, what needs to happen first? Well, you need to establish a range, and then you need to establish higher highs and higher lows. So let's just say hypothetically, let's just go with this here. Hypothetically, the range right now is right here. Okay. In order to break that range, we need to establish a higher high, right? And it needs to break above the highest point in the range. Okay. And then what it needs to do is do a bullish back test and then continue further up. That's generally how it works. Same thing occurs too. To say the price actually comes down here, when we come down there to retest there, that's a consideration to take a short because the price will more likely come down because it's a bearish backtest. So generally speaking right now, in order to establish range-bound activity, we need the price to kind of continue to consolidate. We need some patience. That's actually the premise here. Okay. Once the patience has evolved and we see a range-bound, once it breaks that range, that's when you strike. Okay. You don't try to short the bottom and along the top. You essentially wait for confirmation. That's what we're waiting for. Okay. We're not there yet. And what is going to help us with that? Well, Ichim Cloud is a fantastic resource. And look at this. This is actually quite perfect. Take a look at this. So we got this descending trend here. We're still establishing lower highs. So you can see that. While we have established higher lows, that's all well and good. That doesn't mean anything for the moment. What matters is that we are still below the cloud here. This is giving us confirmation we have no reason to take a trade right now. We can see lag and span is free and clear, but almost intersecting with the price action, i.e. close your short position. Conversion lines above the baseline, momentum of the upside, i.e. close your short position. At the very least, trim your short position, leave a little bit open. Okay. Once all that happens, say the price action comes up here and gets rejected here, then that's a consideration for a short, or more importantly, you wait for the price to come down here and then short there. If the price action breaks above, just say for example, comes up here, this is what we're looking for a consideration for a long position with confidence, knowing that we're back up over the cloud. Okay, so me personally, I'm going to wait for 24 hours to take a long position on ICP before I take a trade right now, because I want to wait for confirming factors on larger time frames, as well as the hourly here to give us that confidence that when we take a trade, we know it's moving in the right direction. Right now, we're pretty sure it's moving down. So unless you just want to short everything, and unless you want to be patient, you're going to find some failure if you just keep trying to take longs arbitrarily. Okay, again, it's a shorting market right now. Bitcoin's broken bearish. There's no other way around it. We're under the 50-day SMA on the daily. A lot of confirming factors to the downside. But Bitcoin is showing some strength at that 65K mark, and it could very well continue further up. If it does, we might want to be very careful taking too many shorts at this point. Again, I think the window of opportunity for shorts is slowly coming to an end. Most charts are telling us that we want to wait for confirmation because we're in this gray area and the price action is shifting from bearish to bullish, or more so just shifting from bearish to neutral. And when it's neutral, you typically don't trade unless you're going to be trading ranges, and that's a different story altogether. You don't swing trade range bound activity. Okay. Again, conversations for other days. Hope you can learn something here today, or did. Please do me a favor, comment below, like the video, help grow the channel. Really appreciate that. I do look forward to working with you. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.